Hello everyone. So we are at our second video for Parajumbles, right? Just a second. Great. So, building on what we learned in the previous video, we are going to see further applications of how to make our life easy when it comes to solving Parajumbles, right? Let's see. The colony was then named. Which colony? Okay. So the first thing that comes into my mind is which colony? Let's see where the answer is. So I know A is not my first hint. This penal colony is now known as which colony again? However, disease and death in the penal colony. Which colony? Still the same question. After 2 years, this colony. Okay, I don't know again, which. In 1789, the governor of Bengal established a penal colony on Chatham Island in Southeast Bay of Great Andaman. Got it? My first sentence, I have defined which colony. Okay. Now you will wonder what will be the next thing. Now, if you see, after 2 years, okay, where do we have a reference with respect to date? It's in statement E, 1789. इसका मतलब 1781 की बात हो रही है. And again, we're talking about the location. Location, ED. Okay. The colony was then. What is this then correlating to? After 2 years. Perfect. इतना मेरे को मिल चुका है. Was then named Port Cornwallis after Admiral William Cornwallis. Okay. However, disease and death in the penal colony forced the government to cease its operations in May 1796. This penal colony is now present, known as Port Blair. Lessons from this. I will question at each point which, what, how, and when. Okay, in this example, which colony. Secondly, this is a chronology based thing. First I went to 1789, then I went to 1781, then I went to 1791, then I went to 1796, and then I came to the present, right? Chronology is extremely important in solving Parajumbles. Please remember this in detail. Okay, so we are done with this one. Let's go to the next one. Only then can any virus make use of its single talent. Only then, when? When, bhai? Batao? Pata nahi. In this way. Which way? Again, I don't know. These viruses then move. These viruses, by which viruses? I don't know. A virus is nothing more than a few strands of genetic material wrapped in a package of protein, a parasite unable to function on its own. Okay. I have defined what is virus, right? A, B, and C are referring to something about a virus, but पहली बात तो मैंने virus को define ही नहीं किया है. A parasite unable to function on its own. In order to survive, it must find a cell to infect. Unable to function on its own in order to survive. Connection दिख गया? Okay. Cell to infect. Okay. So now we have an understanding of this. In order to survive, it must find a cell to infect. Now in these three, let's start with A. Only then can any virus make use of its single talent, which is to take control of a host cellular machinery and use it to churn out thousands of copies of itself. Okay. After surviving, what does it do? It is answered in A. Only then, once it has infected a cell. Simple. Okay. These viruses then move from one cell to the next, transforming each new host into a factory that makes even more viruses. Okay. In this way, which way? This way. One infected cell soon becomes billions. Simple. Okay. What concept have I applied here again? Guys, question everything. Okay. These words, then, this, these, it. क्वेश्चन करो आंसर मिलेगा आपको दिखाता हूं इट हु इट वायरस का डेफिनेशन क्या है डी तो डीई एक पेयर हो गया ठीक है ओनली देन व्हेन वंस इट इज इन्फेक्टेड ओके डन these viruses then move which are these are the viruses which have taken control of the cellular machinery and then are moving to the one from one host this way which way by transforming each new host into a factory simple I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say over here guys please take some time, redo this, implement it in more questions. Automatically, you will get the feel of what I'm trying to say. Okay. Next one. Okay. If this is so, what is so? Several scholars over the years have drawn analogies between life and theater. Independent statement. Okay. For instance, the eminent sociologist Erving Goffman suggested, for instance, of what? So this won't be my starting sentence, and this won't be architectural landscaping and the dimensions of the stage and the other actors around us all offer cues about how we should perform and how we should treat one another. Okay. Several scholars over the years have drawn analogies between life and theater. Okay. For instance, the eminent sociologist Erving Goffman suggested life is a series of performances in which we are all continually managing the impression we can give other people. Example of a scholar drawing analogies. Got it. Okay. If this is so, then public spaces function like a stage in the same way that our own home and living rooms do. Life is a series of performances. This is what is linking over here. Right? This is how we get BCAD. Again, this was a little tough one. But if you see, if you answer the right things, like इसमें अगर आप ये scholar वाले चीज पर eminent sociologist में BC बना देते, options देखिए, and the rest is all sorted for you. Right? This is a very key thing in NMAT that we have options and we will utilize it. Okay. As I got off at Terminal B, I couldn't help marveling at the vastness of the O'Hare airport. Okay. My husband, who was very concerned as I was traveling alone, printed out a map of the airport before I left. Okay. Since I did not have any pressing demands, I decided to make the trip. My sister, who lived in Seattle, wanted us to be present at her housewarming ceremony. This is the trip. What trip? This trip. My sister, who lived in Seattle, wanted us to be present at her housewarming ceremony. Since I did not have any pressing demands on my time, I decided to make the trip. Okay. But one second. Although we tried very hard, we were able to obtain only one ticket for that date. Okay, the first point that will come is about the solo trip, and C is saying that, you know, although एक ही ticket मेरा, फिर भी उनके पास कुछ काम नहीं था. That is why she went ahead and did the trip. My sister, who lived in Seattle, wanted us to be present at her housewarming ceremony. Although we tried very hard, we were able to obtain only one ticket for that date. Since I did not have any pressing demands on my time, I decided to make the trip. So DEC have to come before B and A because B and A are talking about a different topic altogether, which is airports. My husband, who was very concerned, printed out a map of the airport before I left as I got off. So what we get is D, E, C, B, and A. Okay. Now, what does this essentially mean? Why have I chosen this? अब यहाँ दोनों देखेंगे इन दोनों sentences का main point was airport. इन तीन sentences का main point was trip. Okay. if you are able to identify, okay, what is the main essence of sentences, automatically groupings ho jati hai. That is the point I wanted to drive over here. Okay, so what are the main key takeaways that we take from here? First is, no matter how complicated a PJ gets, always question the words. Okay, the questions will be why, how, when, which, and which are the words we question? Then, these, there, to. Correct? This is the one tip. Second thing is chronology. हमेशा हम chronological order में जाते हैं. Historic, you know, I mean, past, okay, historics, past, present, future. That's how we need to work. Then lastly, identify essence. Okay, we need to identify the essence of things such that we get pairs. Once you get pairs, options देखेंगे and comparison करेंगे and our work is done. So I know, guys, you know what I'm saying might be a little tough to grasp in the beginning, but it is something which is possible only after you have given a good amount of thought and practice. Okay, practice कीजिए इन चीजों को, try implementing it before using options. Automatically, you see you are getting better at PJs every week, and eventually this is not just for NMAT, it will also help you with your CAT prep. Okay, so yeah, let's keep killing it. Thank you.